Now we come to the fourth sutra. Here he describes about the chitta, how chitta is formed. In the fourth, fifth, sixth, he describes about everything. Now the fourth sutra is, this is a very important truth, vritti sharupyam itaratra. Vritti means fluctuations of your mind, sarupyam means equal, and in other state. When your all the fluctuations of the mind stops, then that is the state of yoga. You go in your own form. Till the third sutra he described this. But when you are not established in yourself, then what happens? Now the journey starts. Now when you are not established, whatever happens to us, we are not established in our own self. Then what happens with us? So here he tells that in that state, when your thoughts are not established, you are not established in yourself, then what happens? Whatever your fluctuations are, you equalize with them. If you have anger, then you think that I am an angry person. If you have lust, then you think that I have a lust. Means you integrate yourself with your vrittis, with your thoughts. But here he wanted to say that you, suppose you made a home, so will you say that I am home? You made this cloth, so you will say that I am cloth? No, you didn't say. Whatever, me and my creation is not the same. I have created something, so I cannot be my creation. I am different and creation is different. So here in ignorance, we identify ourselves with our vrittis. We identify ourselves with our thoughts. Whatever thoughts happen to us, in some time our thoughts happen to of non-violent, then I become non-violent, and sometimes after just 5 minutes we can be violent. So how can we be both? We can be only one. So because of these fluctuations, we have many changes in ourselves. We have many roles because of these fluctuations. So it is in the ignorance that we identify ourselves with our thoughts, but we are the creator of the thoughts. We are not the thoughts. So here now our journey begins, because we all think like this. Whatever the thoughts come in our mind, so we think that I am this. Thought of lust comes, so we become lusty. Or thought of anger comes, we become anger. Thought of any desires come in us, we think that we are desirous. But these are the thoughts. We are the creator of the thoughts. So Patanjali says that you have to destruct these thoughts. So destruct these thoughts does not mean that you destruct the building, not that way. Here he wanted to say that now you control your thoughts. When you will get control on your thoughts, then you will understand your own grace, your own grandness. You are grand. So you have, how can you understand your grandness? Because of these fluctuations, you are not able to understand yourself. So you have to stop them, then you will understand that you are God. You are not a simple person. Just as an example, a person who has kept about suppose 1 kg of gold here in his pocket and going to beg, please give me something, and keeping a lot of gold here, but ignorant of that gold, then that person is begging. The same way, we are God, but due to ignorance we think that we are thoughts, and these thoughts, due to them we cannot understand our own grandness. So this is what here he wants to say. Now the whole journey of yoga starts here. Now in the fourth he says this, in the fifth now he says about the vrittis, how these vrittis are made. Vritti panchitaya klishta klishta. Now we will break it. Vritti panchitaya klishta aklishta. Vritti means our fluctuations of the mind, modifications of the mind, chitta. Panchataya. Panchataya means of 5 types. Klist means sadness, and aklist is just opposite to it. He is saying that those vrittis which you have to restrain, he is saying that they are of 5 types, and these 5 types can be further subdivided in 2 types, sadness and happiness. Means in these vrittis you can divide it, some vrittis give you sadness, some vrittis give you happiness. Now we will discuss about the vritti. We will understand what is the vritti, what is the vritti and what is antakaran, concerns, and chitta means. We will discuss about this, then you can understand it, and then you can understand what the chitta is, how the chitta is created, how chitta is made. Because if we will not understand it, then we cannot stop to vrittis. First we have to discuss that, then we will discuss about this sutra. Chitta are concerns, how it is made. And then when we know how it is made, then we can know how to destruct it, how to stop it. What happens? We start from the beginning. You see, I have told you that there are 5 knowledge senses, and all the knowledge starts from here: eyes, ears, nose, tongue and skin, and its vishayas. In Sanskrit we called it vishay, और अंग्रेजी में हम लोग इसको ऑब्जेक्ट कहते हैं कि आवर सेंसेस ऑब्जेक्ट. आइज साइट, ईयर्स वर्ड और साउंड, नोज स्मेल, टंग taste, and skin is to touch. When our these 5 senses encounter with any these objects we have discussed in our previous sutras, then our mind start thinking. So, when our mind start thinking, the work of mind starts from here. When you feel any one of this, we start thinking. Then what happens? When we think over anything, any object, normally we have 3 reactions. What are those 3 reactions? Good, bad or neutral. If these 3 reactions were not there, then we cannot make chitta. Only because of these 3 reactions our mind is made. Now it starts getting intensified. So, with these 3 reactions what happens? If it is good, then we are attached with it, attracted with it. If it is bad, we have aversion for it, and if it is neutral, then nothing. So, these 2 things helps in making our mind to further. When it happens either good or bad, then what happens? Then we become attached or aversion, and after attachment and aversion, now things goes in your memory, and memory is the part of your brain. And when you memorize it, then what happens? Then again, if you have attached with anything, you want to get it again, and if you are aversion with anything, then you will try to avoid it. You develop hatred with this or anything like this. So, this memory comes in your mind, and when this memory comes in your mind, then you do 2 things. One is karma, it is called karma, and one is kriya. You see, in English we say karma and kriya, both actions, but in Sanskrit it is completely different. What karma is? Whatever we think from our mind, that is called karma. in Sanskrit. And when our thinking, when we do from according to our thinking, that is our kriya. When we start doing the things from our body, then it is kriya, but when we are thinking only, that is karma. Then what happens? Now, when you have attachment with anything, then you get, you try, you think that now we have to get it again. You think over it. Now, your thinking is getting a bit intensified. In the first time, it was not very much intensified, but it is going more intensified. So, you start thinking about how to get it, and when you think about how to get it, then you need resources for to achieve that thing. And when you need resources, then you do kriya. Suppose you want to eat a sweet. I am very fond of rasgulla, so I give the example of rasgulla. Suppose you are very attached with the rasgulla type of sweet, then what happens? First time you ate it, then you get attached with it, attracted with it. Then what happens? Now, if you want to get it again, then you need money and you need to go there to purchase it. Then you will do that thing. So, that is kriya. And when you are starting to eat again and again, this is karma. And it happens to us all the time. Not only one, we have many attractions, many types of attractions. So, it always happens in our mind. It starts doing. So, we do karma and then kriya, and when we do karma and kriya, then again we eat that rasgulla, that sweet. The first time we ate one time, the memory was here. Now, we eat it again, then the one layer come it again here, and we do many times, many times, many times in 10 years. Suppose we ate it 100 times rasgulla. So, 100 times this layer has been more intensified in your chitta. Then now it is going beyond your brain. It becomes vasana. And I do not know any the English word of the vasana, but I have read somewhere it is called impression. So, impression is not the real word, but just to understand it, you say it impressions. Now, it is getting a very subtle, and when the vasanas are made, then it is going in your habit, and it is going a very deeper in not only subconscious mind, more deeper. Then it becomes a sanskar, and this sanskar, suppose this is Purush and this is Prakriti. So, your encounter with the Prakriti is always through Chitta, and the brain is in the Prakriti. So, when you get more intensified with it, then this layer is now beyond this Prakriti. I mean, it becomes so subtle that it is linked, surrounded in your soul, and then it becomes your sanskar. When we leave our body, this Prakriti does not go with us, but this one is always with us. It is always with us, whether we are in lying down state, lying, sleeping, or whether we go in another body, then it will be always with us, what yoga and Sankhya philosophy says. So, this is the sanskar. All other things, if it is in one layer, then it is not very difficult for us to remove. When we will leave body, then it will be left. But it becomes very subtle when we are using that thing that from which we are attached. When we are using very, very intensely, then it comes in your sanskar and it makes all your habits. All your habits. You think that now I have to become non-violent. So, we all think we have to become non-violent. we have to do truth and these things. But why in some cases suddenly if someone hits me, then I also react? Why? Because this is there, and this what we have thought we have become non-violent, it is here only. We have to break this one. These are the vrittis we have to break, which are surrounding our soul. It is a circle, that is why it is called a vritti. Vritti means a circle. In fact, the vritti literal meaning is circle. So, our mind is a bit circle, our memories is like a circle. It is not like a straight line. If it is a straight line, then if one vritti has gone, then it will not come again, but it is in circular state. It comes and comes all the time, and the more time it comes, it makes your sanskaras more subtle, and here it engrosses it here, encircles it here. So, now you see our mind is like this circle. So, in the beginning you will not understand from where to start, how to start to break it, because we cannot say what is the starting point and what is the end point. But here Patanjali says that there are 5 types of vrittis, but in fact we have infinite type of vrittis. But to understand them, Patanjali classify it in 5 types. So, what are those 5 types? In the next sutra he says 5 types, and in the not only 5 types, in the 5 types he subdivided it good and bad, klishta and aklishta. We have discussed it in the 5th sutra. Now he comes to the 6th sutra and he tells about those 5 vrittis, and he says that with these 5 vrittis we make our sanskaras strong. These vrittis comes in our mind, in our chitta, and it becomes stronger and stronger, and then we are getting bondage day by day, every day. So, they are making bondage. If you meditate, what happens? When we meditate and we do not know this reality, then what happens? We meditate and do all other things which are trying to make you attract more and more. I mean, 1 hour we meditate and then we try to keep our thoughts off, but all other 23 hours we are very much entangled with our senses and doing all the things which are making us more attached with the worldly objects. Then how can 1 hour make your chitta free from these fluctuations? It is highly impossible. But Patanjali knows it, that everyone doesn't, everyone cannot get enlightenment, and everyone does not need enlightenment also. But everyone wants to become perfect. All of us wants to become perfect. So, Patanjali gives a shortcut also, that he tells that whatever level you are, you have to try for that. Now, he divides chitta in 5 types.